Do you think the word work-life balance will justify civil engineering?
It's a very tough question, actually speaking. So one simple example to add, maybe for a fresher, it's invalid to compare a civil engineer to a software engineer. I respect software engineers; they too have their own problems. If you wanted to ask me whether our course needs to be updated, I would say definitely it needs to be updated, but it is not poor. So I have a written question for you.
Okay.
What is a good salary? In any interview, for that matter of say, be honest.
Right. Be honest.
Be honest.
I'm the type of person, if you ask me a question and I don't know the answer, I'm going to tell you that I don't know.
Maybe if you pick any Middle East countries, Dubai or Saudi Arabia for that matter, who are working there, at least be loyal to the construction industry or the construction fraternity. That is something which you cannot skip. From drawings on papers to AutoCAD, we all saw how that evolution has started to happen. Very seniors also, they came like a baby, sat in front of computer, they started to use AutoCAD. So they had the urge to grow.
Right.
Okay, they had the urge to learn, okay, how can I make a drawing in a computer?
Right.
So that same sort of eagerness and curiosity should be there. Only then we can also connect. Not everybody can be a businessman, not everybody can be a professional.
Right.
If your traits or if your qualities or if your expertise is more about professional, is more about being an engineer and doing a professional job,
Okay.
then business may not be your cup of tea. Be serious about your job. So if you're coming into the job market, be serious about the job. Nothing satisfies everyone 100%.
Hello Civil Bros, welcome back to our channel. Today's episode is very special for us as we are going to hit national audience, and today's our guest is Anbu Maninathan sir. He started his career as a site engineer. He became Deputy Associate Director and City Lead for Hyderabad and taking care of cost consultancy and quantity surveying services for an UK-based international MNC. In this session, I learned how to grow as a civil engineer, what are the ways are there in civil engineering industry, what type of ways are there to grow, how much time it will take to earn a good salary, what is the future of construction, and what you should choose as a fresher, and lot more, guys. These are my takeaways from this session. And now it's your turn. Let's start our podcast, guys. Hello sir, welcome to our CivilBro R channel.
Hi Rajesh, thanks for inviting me. So yeah, you can call me Anbu. It's a long name, Anbu Maninathan. So you can call me Anbu.
It's actually good sir, Anbu Maninathan. It's really a catchy name. Yeah.
Thank you for that, yeah.
I'm excited actually.
Yes.
I don't know you
Even
are
I am
excited or
excited,
not,
yes.
sir.
Even I am excited.
I'll start with what is the current size and growth rate of the construction industry in India only, sir?
Yeah, I understood.
Yeah.
See, size in the sense like in terms of employability, we are the second largest employment generating sector in the country, just next to agriculture. So if the numbers are right, we are close to, we are employing close to 30 to 35% of the workforce, both organized and unorganized sectors put together.
Right.
Of course, these are the documented numbers. In reality, it could be slightly higher than that as well. That when we say about an industry which is able to give a hugely populated country like India, it's able to give huge number of employment opportunities, that shows the size.
Right.
Of course, in terms of the currency values or what is the value of this industry, we can somewhere see around like approximately 700 USD, 700 million USD is the size of the economy.
Oh wow!
So that is also something which is very promising.
What are the major trends shaping the industry, like green buildings? If in case we can take, for example.
Yeah, see, for example, of course, green building is something which has been there since long time, especially in the city like Hyderabad, where we are sitting and speaking.
Right.
Green building is something which is well known of a topic here. We have a building stock of green building stock here, which is one of the highest in the entire country. And apart from that, the trends are, if we speak about Hyderabad, maybe I would like to do like one or two options. Like for example, if we speak about residential, the trend is more towards luxury apartments. The trend is more of luxury villas. So luxury units are currently at the trend. And second, in terms of other companies who wanted to come and lease out a space, Hyderabad is showing a trend. The construction industry trend in Hyderabad, if we could speak, it's in the residential industry sector, it is getting dominated by luxury unit sales.
Right.
And in the commercial sector, if you would like to see, it's more of GCC companies who wants to come and hire spaces. So builders wants to promote a lot of buildings and give it to them.
Okay.
And a lot of ITES, co-working spaces, and of course, pharma and industrial hub is also something which is progressively growing in Hyderabad. So these are the 3-4 areas which quickly comes to my mind in terms of what the industry is shaping towards.
Right.
Yeah.
So you mentioned GCC companies.
Yes.
What are those? Like, I don't know.
So it's basically like global capacity centers. A lot of MNCs, they wanted to put up their R&D or research wing in places like Hyderabad. So they are developing their core units, in our city. So that is something which is a positive trend.
So as you are living in Hyderabad, how does the construction industry differs in Hyderabad? If you compare to major cities in India.
Yeah. So it's an interesting question. So first thing is anybody who comes to Hyderabad will get amused to see the tall buildings in Hyderabad,
Right.
and that is something which is that I would say that's an area where Hyderabad is totally different from the entire India.
Okay.
Of course, you can see in Mumbai, but just next to Mumbai, all you can see tall buildings. All you can see is in Hyderabad,
Right.
and this is we are speaking in 2025, and you don't know, in next. Maybe 5 years or 6 years down the line, you'll see a lot of more buildings. At least I would see maybe 300-400 buildings, which is between the 100 to 150 meter high category to be there in Hyderabad.
Right.
So the major thing where Hyderabad is getting differentiated is in terms of skyscrapers or high-rise buildings. I won't say skyscrapers; it's high-rise buildings.
Right.
So between 100 meter to 150 meter, more than 115 meter is the target what we can see in Hyderabad. So that's where we are doing differently. Yes.
What do you mean by skyscrapers and what are we building?
Yeah,
what is the difference?
It's a loosely coined term sometimes. That's why I corrected it as high-rise buildings. Because skyscrapers are something I would say Burj Khalifa, Jeddah Tower, those which is getting Jeddah Towers in Saudi Arabia, which is getting in talks about construction. So those things let us not confuse. That's why I'm restricting to high-rise buildings.
Right, sir. And as we are speaking about Hyderabad, what is the biggest challenge Hyderabad construction industries are facing right now?
I wouldn't do as a challenge as such for the city's sake. So every city during its own time will go through during its own time of development will have to go through or adjust towards the global situations because it's an industry where a lot of foreign investment is also there and people involvement is also there.
Right,
Labor issues are there, material issues are there.
Right.
So those sometimes there will be also slight reasons from the political background, from the geographical background. All that will always be there, but that is not specific to any city. Any city has to go through all that to become a bigger city.
Right.
So in such way, the problem or the issues in Hyderabad, I won't say it is something which is scary or which is unique only to Hyderabad. It's all issues which has been faced by many developed cities, and we will also go through that as such. Of course, like in terms of labor, in terms of the availability of skilled workforce, resources, there are some challenges for the construction industry. Because getting skilled resource, it's a big challenge throughout the construction industry. So those issues still exist.
Okay. What future projects or developments will shape the skyline of the Hyderabad? Like if you see SAS Crown is there.
Yeah.
It's like 55 floors.
So as I told you above, Hyderabad trend is pretty clear. It's going to be full of high-rise buildings.
Right.
So already we are speaking about 50-55 floors very easily.
Right.
And there are talks, I've heard from an industry friend that there is some approvals has already been given for some buildings which is more than 60 floors also.
60?
Yes.
Wow.
So, or at least in the space of talks, those are in place in Hyderabad.
Okay.
That way I'm very sure.
Okay.
So that's what the future which is going to shape the skyline of Hyderabad is clearly going to be high-rise buildings.
Right.
And within that we can still, if we speak about multiple sectors, who is going to occupy, that's a different story. But it is going to be high-rise buildings, and maybe I would put it in this way: you can see a mini New York.
Wow.
It's going to take maybe 5-6 years or maximum up to 7 to 10 years.
Wow.
But you can imagine Hyderabad. It's already been transformed to that way.
Right.
If you could go to Gachibowli, if you could take your highways from airport to the way you enter into the city, both your left hand side and right hand side, you can see already the tall buildings climbing
Right,
up,
sir, right.
and it's a very beautiful cityscape view which that city is already giving. Because what I remember is even I recently came around 7-8 months before to Hyderabad, and I
Wow.
started to settle here.
Uh-huh.
What I could see is like I've been visiting this city maybe from the last 6 years.
Okay.
Every time when I see a new Hyderabad.
Wow.
Every time when I visit, I see a new Hyderabad.
You love it?
Yeah, I absolutely love it.
Okay.
Being a construction professional, every time you come, you see new buildings,
Okay.
tall buildings, beautiful nightscapes. What else is going to bring, you joy?
Right.
Obviously, yes.
Wow. What is the types of services we are providing to society? Like if you see, sir, contractor is there and contractor company will be there.
Correct.
Builder will be there.
Correct.
And client will be there.
Correct.
There are so many options are there.
Correct.
What are they giving?
Okay.
What are they actually?
Yeah. You left one more customers, so I will bring them also. So without customers, the
Definitely.
industry is not
Definitely,
there.
sir. Definitely. Yeah.
So I would start from the bottom of the chart, for example.
Sure.
Customers who has a requirement. So
Yeah.
that's where everything is, starting.
Right.
So if we could define maybe, what services the industry offers between the stakeholders, it includes customers.
Right.
So customers, we offer buildings. So the main responsibility of contractors are basically to execute a building.
Right.
Within the time, within the cost, within the quality which has been expected by the client.
Right.
So right above or right next to a contractor,
Okay.
there is this group called consultants. So consultants includes various consultants, right from the structural designer,
Right.
the architectural designer,
Right.
the project management team, the cost management team, the
Right.
quantity surveying team.
Okay.
And there are multiple consultants, right? If you do for a commercial or a retail building, you'll have a parking consultant, landscape consultant. All these people who works at the back end of a project and designs for the perfect requirement, scope, and the objective of a project. And makes methodologies or frameworks for the project. Those are consultants basically. And right next to consultant, it's obviously the client, who is the owner of any particular project.
Right.
These are the typical stakeholder group. It starts from a client, consultants, contractors, and then it ends with the customers.
Okay.
This is the typical stakeholder group of any project.
The company is also based on these only.
Exactly. So any companies you name, for example, if you name any, maybe for example, I'm saying like My Home is there, Rajapushpa is there.
Right.
So those are basically the Solar Korea Satwa is there. So they are basically the clients who develop a project. And second is the consultant. Consultants are people like me. We provide bespoke or specific services for the project because my job is up to cost, budgeting, estimations, and entire
Right.
cost control for a project. Likewise, you will have a PMC, project management consultant, who takes ownership or who helps the contractor to deliver the project on time according to the client's requirement.
Right.
Design consultant's role to design the project according to the requirements within the cost, within the timeline. So all these people who are into facilitating the expectation of a project by a client is the consultant group. And maybe to name some consultants, I can say, of course, my company Gleets is there.
Yeah, wow.
And those are some of the consult companies. And contractors, of course, huge players are there. The moment I say contractors, people know what do they do.
Right,
maybe
right.
for example, Shapurji, L&T.
Wow,
So
right.
these are the people of we can call them as contractors.
Right.
So these are some of the example names. Yeah.
Yeah,
But you
nice.
have a huge pool of other people also.
Okay. What is the difference between architectural drawings and structural drawings?
Yeah. See, a structural drawing predominantly defines in terms of your core structure of a building. Like, for example, the core structure is anyone who has been into the basics of engineering. You remember in the good old, the moment you get into the engineering, core engineering subject, they'll show you a simple layout. It starts from a foundation and then a column up to plinth beam and then a plinth beam and
It's
then
like a
the
2D
column,
drawing.
beam, slab.
Okay, yeah.
It's a small cross-sectional drawing.
Yes.
We always used to see the moment we enter into the into the construction, the engineering stages.
Nice.
So those are basically the structural component of a building.
Right.
So these are designed by a structural consultant.
Okay.
The architectural consultant is someone who is going to define the look and feel of the project.
Okay.
Say, for example, any building, whichever you cross towards high-tech city, it has its own shape, it has its own, facade glasses, it has its own lighting, it gives a unique feel to you.
Right.
Every building gives a unique feel to you in terms of the appearance, in terms of its aestheticness. So those aspects are predominantly designed by an architectural consultant. Of
Right.
course, what I'm saying is an exterior perspective.
Right.
They do have a lot of job in terms of the inside of the building as well.
Okay.
So this is the major definition between architectural and structural consultant.
Right. So I want to give this answer to site engineers actually.
Yes.
So in terms of site engineers, what they will get.
Correct.
So can you?
So one simple example to add,
Yeah.
maybe for a fresher, maybe if you have something related to a grade of concrete, what is the size of a footing, how many number of reinforcement bars you're gonna put,
Right.
the depth of foundation. If any drawing is speaking about all these aspects,
Right.
that is a structural drawing.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So anywhere, any drawing, you have these aspects. Those are structural drawings. If
Right.
it is not there, those are not structural drawings.
Right.
It's a simple definition I would like to give to the freshers.
Right, sir. I need to ask this question. Since you are working with startups and all, how a startup works? I want to understand the pattern, sir, actually.
Okay. See, I don't work with startups. I help them in terms of molding their vision into a product to a certain category. There is a certain group of friends who are there who are doing it for the benefit of bringing the industry to the next level.
Right.
So mostly the startups I work or I help them or I provide guidance is all related to the digital part or about digitizing a certain aspect of a construction workflow. So those are areas like, for example, the way they work is like they have a problem statement. Of course, any startups for that matter of say works in the similar fashion, which is the same for us as well.
Yes.
They have a problem statement.
Right.
For example, one of the startup which I know is they have identified the small scale.
So you can name it also, sir.
There are a lot of such startups available.
Okay.
Maybe if I wanted to name few, I would say
Few,
for
yeah,
example,
sure.
Hubeco is there.
Hubeco.
Hubeco. Hubeco. Hubeco is a startup which is like an e-commerce platform which speaks about sustainable construction materials.
Okay.
And there is something called as Buildify. So they were also good friends of mine. So Buildify is something which is in terms of digitizing the workflow, billing structures to an extent. Particularly targeting the small scale builders who are doing it at a rural level or a semi-urban level. So it's about digitizing their sort of works.
Wow.
So anybody who works in that structure, the way they work is they'll identify their own problem statement, which is existing in the industry.
Okay.
And in order to fix that problem statement, they'll come up with a solution. For
Okay.
example, if you feel like there is no marketplace available to purchase a sustainable construction material.
Right.
So that's where Hubeco comes in. There is no solution available to organize the workflow and to monitor everything in a single device for small scale construction developers. That's where Buildify comes in.
Oh.
So the way they work is this: a simple problem,
Right.
and how do you fix that problem? That's where a startup starts basically.
Do you think the word work-life balance will justify civil engineering?
It's a very tough question, actually speaking.
Okay.
See, the one thing what we all need to
I love that reaction actually.
one thing what we all need to identify or understand is
Okay.
Unfortunately the text or the theoretical engineering which we learn for 4 years is not putting us at right place to start the work at the day one when we step into a construction field.
Yeah.
Why? Because what do we see is an entirely different thing when we come and see at a site level.
Right.
So now do you think in order to catch up that technical skills, do you need to do extra work?
Definitely.
You have to.
Yeah.
So extra work requires extra time.
Extra time. Yeah.
So that extra time where you are going to compensate, you are going to compensate from your personal life
Definitely,
only. That is exactly what is going to happen. This is one aspect in terms of how we as a professionals try to lose work-life balance at the beginning stages of your career because you have to prepare for the industry. You have to prepare for your career.
Right.
And in terms of companies, yes, of course, few examples are there, where people stretch, where the companies stretch too much about the professionals who are working with them. They pay them less. They take too much of work from them. Those issues are also there. I'm not denying. But the example I would like to give here is a positive example. There are a lot of good companies also available. Anyone who is trying to come inside the construction, I would tell them like don't get carried away with these examples. There are good number of positive examples available.
Okay.
There are good number of positive companies available,
Right.
Ethical companies available who is prioritizing work-life balance.
Right.
In order to reach there, you should have proper technical competency. In order to develop that, sometimes you may need to spend your own personal time.
Right.
That is still there.
Company matters.
Yes, of course, companies matters, and I would say the culture of the company matters.
Right. Actually, I want to ask this since we are talking about work-life balance. Is it changes company to company? Like there are so many types of companies out there. Client is there, consultancy is there, contractor is there. How it varies like company to company?
Okay, so it's actually a good question. So there are two aspects,
Right.
Construction work-life balance is not dependent only on the company.
Right.
It is dependent on the project also.
Project. Yeah.
Because in suppose if a company is there, maybe what X company is there, that X company is having two projects, two team is deployed. There are examples that team A might have a good work-life balance, team B might not have a good work-life balance compared to team A.
Right.
Reason is team B might be a fast track project, might be a project of some significant importance, that the issues might be different, the locality could be different, and the team strength, the capacities of the team could be different.
Right.
In team A, it could comparatively be on a different objective project. In such cases, if you wanted to deliver something within a short period of time, then it requires multiple resources, or it requires more number of time from existing resources to deliver the project.
Right.
So it doesn't matter only with the company, it matters with the type of projects as well.
Right. Which subsector is in civil engineering seeing rapid growth? Like if you say roads, bridges, and railways, metro, in terms of infra and buildings also.
Yeah.
Which sector?
See, in terms of infra, the trend everybody knows the roadways and the railways are pretty expanding. And what I would also see,
also, sir.
Sorry.
Those are necessary also.
Yes, it's definitely required for a country like India where the infrastructure is booming. It's definitely, because that's why we call it as booming, right?
Right.
So that is predominantly, undoubtedly, it's doing good in terms of number of projects. And the other thing which people doesn't see is number of airports.
Number of airports.
Number of airports.
Okay.
So we can see huge number of airports getting developed across India, left, right, center. There are so many airport projects coming in. So that is also something which I would like to call out at this stage. So that is also an area where a lot of growth is happening. This is in terms of infra, and of course when it comes to building, undoubtedly residential market, undoubtedly commercial market, and undoubtedly your what you call industrial and warehouse sectors. Because our focus as a nation is also in terms of moving, producing more manufactured goods, which requires a lot of logistics, warehouses, manufacturing facilities, and all. So those areas are also doing pretty good in terms of as a subsector. The growth of any sector
linked to each one, right?
Linked to each one, definitely, and it is also specific to some places. For example, if we take a city like Hyderabad,
We'll take Hyderabad.
Yeah, if we take Hyderabad, one side you can see a lot of pharmaceutical or the manufacturing units getting built.
Right.
One side you can see equal number of residential projects getting built.
Right.
Same just next to the residential sides you can see a lot of commercial towers also getting built. So you cannot name a single subsector. All these three attracts people, and that's where construction is also about.
Wow.
So you cannot name one. It's a collective group of industries which will always be there.
Right. Where do you think Indian civil engineering industry heading towards in next 10 years?
There is an estimate which says almost 38% of the India's population is estimated to live in urban cities, maybe within next 15 years. So if you see 1/3 of India's population is going to live in urban cities,
right?
We need to still develop a lot of infrastructure in existing urban cities, number one. Lot of infrastructure, when I say, I mean about roads. Also, I mean about the buildings. Because they need place to work, they need place to live, they need place for their hospital, healthcare, education, everything. That is one aspect.
Right.
And second, when that much amount of people are going to live in urban cities, the existing urban cities are not enough. So your tier 2, tier 3 cities are also going to see a lot of boom. So maybe within 10 years, what I would see is the existing cities are going to be super modern in terms of construction, and there are a lot of construction, good quality construction to happen in tier 2 and tier 3 cities as well. This is what I see for the next 10 years.
Okay. What kind of skills should a civil engineer or mainly a fresher focus on in future also now?
Okay. So I'll put it very basic, because as you said, freshers and engineering students are most of our audiences.
Right.
To me, what I have experienced is two basic skills. One is visualization skills. As an engineer, the fundamental skill is you need to know by seeing a plan how it is going to get executed at a cross-section level in a site.
So
Sometimes you see a cross-section drawing, you see a plan drawing, you need to relate between both of that and identify and understand how it is and what details are getting communicated between both.
okay.
You may see multiple views of a drawing sometimes.
Okay.
So in such senses, as an engineer, my visualization skill is very much important for me to understand, conceptualize what the drawing is communicating, for me to have a better clarity in terms of executing it or in terms of planning it or in terms of budgeting it.
Right.
So first thing is I would say the visualization skill, or I would say conceptualization skills.
Right. That's why.
Yeah.
That's why I'm keep telling students to focus on ED, engineering drawing.
Absolutely.
Don't take it light. It will use very much in future.
That's a basic.
Yeah, yes,
That's
sir.
the basic, I would
Yes,
say.
sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, continue.
And second thing is, I would say numerical skills.
Okay.
In terms of our ability to work with numbers, in terms of our ability to, because everything is number in our
Maths.
industry.
Right.
For example, if you go to a site, first thing you need to know what is the extent of a site, which is your length into breadth, 20, 40, 30, 60. Some measurement is there.
Right.
So that from there the number starts, and it keeps going till you pour your concrete, till you complete the building on time or not. Everything is number.
Right.
At what cost you complete.
Right.
Everything is related to number in this industry.
Right.
So second skill I would like to call is numerical skills.
Okay.
So these two are very fundamental or very basic.
Okay. Is that our civil engineers competitive in international level?
Yeah, definitely.
In terms of skill?
Definitely, absolutely, no doubt about it. See, you see a market, for example, a small example, you know the answer for this.
Right.
Maybe if you pick any Middle East countries, Dubai or Saudi Arabia for that matter, who are working there? I don't know the number, but predominantly Indians are doing construction.
Definitely, yeah.
And they are not living there for 6 months or 1 year. They are living there for years and years.
Right.
So that means they are employable there.
Right.
And they are still attracting people from our region. That what is the meaning of that? That means that we are one of the competitive, skill sets in the world.
Right.
And of course, sometimes we may not know everything when we step into the industry.
Right.
But our people are good in terms of accepting, understanding, learning on site, and improving their capabilities.
Right.
So we are absolutely no doubt we are one of the very competitive skill sets. We Indians are basically.
Okay. How much time will it take for a civil engineer to earn a good salary in India?
Okay, so I have a written question for you.
Okay.
What is a good salary?
1 lakh. I'm expecting 1 lakh.
Okay, I agree.
Okay.
1 lakh is a good salary for you.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
First thing, the difference here is it may not be a good salary for someone else, or it's
Right.
too much for someone else.
Right.
Okay. So the good salary, first of all, depends or varies from person to person.
Right.
I would say engineer to engineer. And second thing, how much time, now coming to your example, how much time it is going to take you to earn 1 lakh? It's in your hands basically.
Right.
Because I'm honestly telling based on industry experience.
Definitely, sir. Yeah.
I have seen people who have reached up to that height within a shorter period of time also, after a longer period of time also.
Okay.
The reason of that difference is,
Right.
or why would I say it is depending on you is, see, as we rightly said, it's a very competitive industry.
Right.
Okay. So companies are ready to pay for someone who is having the ability to, think out of the box, who is having the ability to positively contribute to them, who is having the ability to, understand the objective of their organization and go along with that.
Okay.
So those people and person, who is continuously updating themselves. So
Right.
these set of people, they'll always find their own, easiest path or shorter period of time to reach in terms of salary.
Right.
And of course, I'm saying about the organized companies and organized construction sectors. So there are opportunities available. I would randomly, maybe if you ask me what is the timeline it's going to take to reach 1 lakh salary a month, I would say maybe 5 years to 10 years also.
Okay.
The gap is huge here because it depends on how you are able to capitalize that opportunity, perform that in that opportunity, how you are able to understand, be competitive, and reach towards that 1 lakh goal.
Right.
There are opportunities available. That I can tell very
Okay.
clearly, and it is up to individuals' responsibilities to reach out or chase to that opportunity.
Okay. Is loyalty matters for in this particular serving people, serving organization?
See, I would say like you have to be loyal. It depends to whom, but I would say like I would encourage the engineers to be loyal to the industry first.
Industry, right?
Yeah. At least be loyal to the construction industry or the construction fraternity. That is something which you cannot skip.
Right? That's it?
Yeah.
Okay. So I want to know, a lot of people wants to know actually, a lot of freshers want to know, since we are talking about civil engineering industry, how many ways are there in civil engineer private sector? How many roles are there for a civil engineer to grasp?
See, as I've told you in the beginning, the stakeholders are there in terms of contractors, consultants, and clients.
Right.
So all the stakeholders are having opportunities. So maybe if I'm a fresher and if I need to identify from where should I start in.
Right.
At a categorical level, you have contractor companies where you can start in, you have consultant companies where you can start in, and you have client companies where you can start.
Right.
And what do you do all these three places? So if you join a contractor company, there are multiple options, 2-3 easy options. Maybe you can join as a site engineer. Everybody knows that. There is also a potential available for quality. There is also a potential available to be a planning engineer. There is also a potential available to be a site related to billing engineer. These are the areas which you can still explore
as a fresher only, right?
As a fresher only, not only a site engineer.
Okay.
There are other areas also within a contracting firm. And of course, if you go to consultant, you can be a designer, maybe a structural designer, an architectural designer, an interior designer, or you can be a draftsman, or you can be a project assistant, project coordinator with the project management consultants. To my specific domain, you can still join as a junior quantity surveyor, trainee quantity surveyor, and then you can reach up to senior quantity surveyors. And there are multiple other consultant roles available. If you go to maybe a client side, you may join as an assistant manager over there to learn about how to control the project sitting in a regional office, or how to control the project sitting on behalf of the client at the site. So there are roles related to that. So these are the typical set of areas where a fresher, if I am a fresher, I can focus in terms of where to pick a job from.
So since we mentioned architectural designer, can a civil engineer be an architectural designer? Like they hire civil engineer for that?
See, they don't put you exactly in terms of design, but they do require a lot of other back-end support services where civil engineers, not just civil engineers, I would say mechanical, electrical engineers also required for them. See, the moment they do, of course, simple example I'll tell you, an architectural consultant also needs to prepare a BOQ. They also needs to do the quantity estimations are there from their end. So who can do that? Obviously, civil engineers has to prepare themselves, go along with them, do that. They also need people who can go to site, do inspection surveys, do measurement checks, do certain basic checks, whether the point is right, whether the coordinates are right. They need people to do that. And who can do that? Civil engineers can do that. So the industry doesn't restrict if you are an architect or an engineer. There is always opportunities to bind together and work. If it's an architectural firm, it cannot. They don't say like we won't hire civil engineers. They do hire civil engineers. And if it's a civil engineering firm, they won't say we don't hire architects. They also do hire architects. Entirely, we are all into construction industry. So the cross-functional will always happen.
These days, all civil engineers are comparing with themselves with software engineers. So I need to ask this question because it's stuck in my mind actually.
To answer your first thing, not these days. Those comparisons are happening since many years. Not these days. Those comparisons has always been there.
Is it valid or not?
No, it's totally invalid, I would say. That, as I told you, we are one of the people dominant industry. See, whatever you do, whatever the technical capacities you hold on, we are still an industry where too many people are working. So we still need to get that people management skill. So in that way, civil engineering industry is little special in terms of people management skills requirement here, because we are a too many people dominant industry. One example I'll give you here. You take your calculator, you put it as 2 plus 2. What is the answer you will get?
Definitely 4.
4? Here, if you get 5, then there is something wrong with the instruction. Correct? Either the instruction is 2 plus 3 or 3 plus 2 or some other thing. That's the reason you are getting 5. If not, the machine or the system which is there inside it is not going to change the answer.
Right.
If the instruction is, unless and until the instruction is wrong.
Right.
Now you also answer one more question. You have been inside.
Okay.
When you go, you just tell the workforce to the labor. This is how you need to do concrete vibrating.
Okay.
If you do too much, there is a possibility the shuttering could collapse.
Yeah.
Or this is how you need to bend. If you should not bend beyond this particular degree.
Okay.
Which is not as per the drawing.
Right.
This is the instruction you are giving to the labor workforce.
Right.
You go to the nearby plot and you come back again. Do you have a guarantee? Whatever you have given,
I can't give guarantee.
you can't give a guarantee.
Yeah.
Now, is there an instruction? Is there anything wrong with the drawing?
No.
Is there anything wrong from your side to communicate to the laborers? Then why the output is changing? Because the execution is still done by a human.
Manpower.
Where the interpretation changes. He
Right.
may not understand exactly what you are saying.
Right.
Now you tell me, or whoever is comparing themselves to software engineer, let them tell or think, we are working with people.
Right.
Okay, that is not equal to getting work done through or some technology based or some systemized manner. We are still
Right,
an
right.
unorganized
This
sector.
way, I didn't thought this way.
Yeah, construction is still an unorganized sector,
Right.
is still a more human involved sector,
Right.
is still a sector where I would say people without any education is also working.
Right.
People with huge education like PhD holders are also working. People
Right.
with UG, PG, architects, everyone are working. So we need to balance all level of people here. Okay?
Right.
It's still an unorganized sector. So
Okay.
that's the reason I'm saying it's invalid to compare a civil engineer to a software engineer. I respect software engineers, they too have their own problems.
Right.
But my point is like civil engineering cannot be compared to them. Same, theirs also cannot be compared to us.
Okay.
Both are not single domain. Please, freshers or anyone who is into engineering or still in the construction industry, comparing yourself with software engineers, please don't do that. It's totally a different ball game. Both the industries have their own route and mechanism to work. It's not same. So don't compare.
Since we are talking about digitalization also, so I think you are the right person to ask this question, sir. How it will change our industry?
I'll give a clear example. One thing is any old engineer who has been practicing engineers maybe 15 years before, if you ask them,
Okay.
they have started engineering drawings in terms of papers, butter papers, and A0 sheets and all.
Right.
Now, do we see any of that which we are currently using? We still use it. But on a day-to-day basis, that involvement is too much reduced.
Right.
It has all become AutoCAD and things like that. There has been a drastic transformation in terms of digitizing the way drawings are produced.
Right.
That's where our AutoCAD and everything came into role.
Right.
Even now, there is a huge transformation happening in terms of the processes, in terms of how to make this industry an organized industry. Sitting in office, how can I see what is going at my site level?
Okay.
Sitting at office, how can I see the progress which is happening? Maybe I can use some drone technology.
Right.
How do I make sure after constructing this building, we used to produce as-built drawings.
Okay.
Now, how do we create a model of an existing building into a system so that sitting at my office I can monitor what is happening in the building, what is the item I need to replace in the building,
Right.
everything, how do we do it sitting in a simple place.
Right.
This is one side of digitization which has already started to happen.
Right.
There is also a lot of process related digitization which has started to happen. Like for example, the way a drawing is designed, approved, reached to a site, and then they ask some RFIs for the drawing, and then it goes back to the entire chain. It all used to be a manual process. Now most of this has already been digitized.
Right.
So this is an example of a process-based digitization.
Okay.
So there is a lot of digitization happening in terms of your specific project, specific process also. There is a lot of things happening in the back end as well.
Okay.
So I would say except the core execution part, anything digitization has already started to happen. The core execution part only will take a little more time
Right.
in terms of, I'm saying about bringing robots and doing construction.
Okay.
Those days are not so
think
close
so.
to us.
I don't think
We don't know how cost effective those will be.
Right.
But except those areas, everything else, the digitization has already started. In some areas, it has already penetrated to a great level. In some areas, it has started to penetrate.
Okay.
So those are already in place.
What is the impact AI can bring to construction industry?
Yeah. See, the impact with what AI can bring to construction industry is depending on how organized our data is, right? So currently, I have told multiple times during this podcast itself that we are a heavily unorganized industry.
Right.
So the data here is like fragmented at many places.
Right.
A simple project, for example, too many people are involved. It's stored at different levels: site, consultant's office, client site office.
Right.
It gets distributed at different levels. Gathering this data, organizing it is something which is very challenging.
Right.
So, in order to make something or to leverage the benefit of AI, first the data has to be strong.
Right.
Many companies has it, many companies doesn't has it.
Right.
So those aspects are going to decide the successful involvement of AI into construction industry. That is the way I look at it.
Wow. If AI comes, is there any jobs threatened?
No, I would not say that. That you will find a lot of more jobs opening up.
Okay.
So that's what AI would do. See, why I say that is, in order to use an AI, you still need people.
Right.
In order to take insights out of an AI, you still need people.
Right.
Okay. In order to train the AI, you still need people. Okay.
Okay.
So I would say, specific to construction industry, the way we work is going to change, and it is not going to change or take out the jobs. Maybe example. Currently, like we are using the Excel sheets. We are bringing the data of BOQ. Manually punching the numbers,
Right.
doing the rate analysis, and we are spending too much of man hours to produce the BOQ, priced BOQ, for example, including the backups.
Okay.
Maybe 2 years or 5 years down the line, what would change is within a click I may be able to do that.
Right.
But it still needs a cost manager. An AI is not going to replace a cost manager.
Right.
An AI would change the way a cost manager works.
Okay.
The way he makes his report.
Okay.
The way he gives his presentations will change.
So-
but it's not going to replace a cost manager.
If I adopt the technology,
That's what
I
I'm
can
saying.
survive.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Competition will be high in terms of our efficiency to get ourselves updated to what the market is demanding.
Right.
Correct. Say for simple example, we spoke about this earlier also.
Yeah.
Where from drawings on papers to AutoCAD, we all saw
The
how
evolution
that
is
evolution has
Yeah.
started to happen. Very seniors also, they came like a baby, sat in front of computer, they started to use AutoCAD. So they had the urge to grow.
Right.
Okay, they had the urge to learn. Okay, how can I make a drawing in a computer?
Right.
So that same sort of eagerness and curiosity should be there. Only then we can also survive. So as I said, it's going to change the way we work, but not to take our jobs.
Or are you indirectly telling teaching syllabus should change?
One thing what I would say is, if you wanted to ask me whether our course needs to be updated, I would say definitely it needs to be updated, but it is not poor. It is not poor.
Yeah.
There are certain areas where we lag. Maybe 50% engineers would agree, 50% engineers would not agree with me.
Right.
Where we also lag how to relate what we have taught, what we have read in a book to what we can able to see practically at site.
Right.
I have told you, conceptualization and visualization skills.
Yeah.
If it is not there, we cannot see that. And yes, to a greater extent, demanding what the global trend is going, it needs to be slightly modified. It's good, if you could bring some software-related subjects to engineers as well, which will give them the confidence to run towards digitizing construction industry.
Right.
So those aspects has to be modified still.
Coding need to introduced in civil engineering?
Why not?
And I definitely agree with that.
See, I would say when I have done my engineering also, I was always been happy. Okay, I don't want to do any coding. For that matter of fact, I was very happy.
Okay.
But right now, even though I'm not pro in terms of anything, I'm still learning in terms of doing minor changes. At least in terms of understanding what a coding is, I developed my my knowledge to at least understand what that is, which I didn't do it in the early stages of my engineering.
Right.
What I would say is, now it's going to be pretty certain the industry is going to digitize.
Right.
And that there will be a lot of understanding differences between a software engineer and a civil engineer.
Right.
Because the way we conceive a building, we cannot expect a software engineer to conceive a building.
Right.
Because they are equipped with skill sets to do the coding, but they may not 100% understand how the building mechanism works like we do. But if we could have some software understanding, you tell me, is it an added advantage that I know what a building mechanism is? construction mechanism is.
Right.
I know a little bit of software also. Combining this, I can do something.
Yeah,
Correct.
something big. Yeah.
That opens up a new avenue.
Definitely, it's an added advantage only.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
So I would encourage any engineer, any construction engineer, for that matter of said, not just civil engineers, mechanical engineer, electrical engineer, whoever is into the construction industry, to have a fair amount of understanding of softwares.
Right.
No need to do some extensive coding. At least try to develop some insights. If you're youngsters, if you're stepping into the industry, no problem in start learning that also.
Right.
Try to do some coding also. That's an added advantage for you.
Okay.
That is a huge market which will open up for civil engineers who has software knowledge.
Right.
So that's going to, this skill set is going to put you at an upper edge at that opportunities. Because you asked about how quickly you can become or earn 1 lakh salary.
Right, sir.
So anyone who is coming into the industry, if you know software, you will have easy ways to earn 1 lakh salary, I would say.
And I want to compare, Rick's
RICS, yeah.
RICS.
CS.
Yeah, and that one and NICMAR.
Okay.
Which is best for civil engineer professionals
Okay.
to do a PG diploma or something?
Okay. First of all, RICS is a platform is a group of engineers.
Okay.
They give accreditations. They accredit you as a chartered surveyor in multiple domain. Okay. There are certain pathways and things like that. NICMAR is an institute where they provide a course.
Right.
Maybe a 2-year course or a PG diploma,
Right.
or a 1-year course, online, offline, everything is available.
Right.
By the way, frankly speaking, I have not done any NICMAR,
Right.
But I've got a good amount of understanding about RICS. So the term RICS means Royal Institute of Chartered Surveyors.
Wow.
Which was basically an England-based, I would say, an organization, not an institute. They don't give you courses like the way NICMAR do.
Oh, right. Sorry.
So it is
Actually-
more of a professional development.
Okay.
It's a good question. Trust
Yeah,
me, it's a
thank
good
you.
question.
Thank you, sir.
Because
Yeah.
many people doesn't know that.
Okay.
So what happens is, if you are a professional, there are multiple ways how you can get an RICS membership. Starts from an associate, ASOCRICS, and then MRICS, FRICS and all.
Right.
So there are certain years of experience, full-time professional experience you should have to start applying for a MRICS.
Right.
Maybe if you wanted to become a associate ASOCRICS, you should have, I think, like 3 years or 5 years. Some timeline is there.
Okay.
Based on that, after completing that years of professional experience,
Right.
they will qualify your experience. There will be multiple competency checks, and you have to produce certain CPD, continuous professional development. You have to show you are continuously developing your professional efficiency, and then based on that, certain discussions and little bit of case studies and all will be there, and then there will be a formal sort of a discussion interview will be there, where they will evaluate you as a professional, and then they will accredit you as a member of that community.
Oh.
So there is no examinations, there is no syllabus as such to become in RICS, like the way you have it in NICMAR.
Okay.
So it's more of an industry professionals community, which RICS is. It's more of preparing a professional is what NICMAR is. So
Okay.
both are entirely different.
If you want to suggest 5 softwares to students, what are they?
So first thing is my first suggestion always is Microsoft Excel.
Yeah.
So that is the predominant thing which everybody uses in the industry.
Yeah,
So first, thorough
definitely.
yourself in Excel. Second, I'm targeting only the freshers or the engineers who are stepping into the industry.
Yeah.
So this message is only for them.
Definitely.
So first, have a strong Excel skill. Second, develop your understanding and free flow work ability with AutoCAD.
Right.
Because your AutoCAD is again related to multiple areas.
Right.
Okay. Second, from my domain, I would suggest you, if you wanted to, come into the quantity surveying or cost management side, I would suggest you Costex, because in India predominantly Costex is used.
Okay.
So that is one, and if you wanted to go towards project management or something, towards project administration, project management planning, I would suggest Primavera or Microsoft Project, any one of that.
Right.
So these are the set of softwares which I would suggest. Depends on which domain you would like to choose.
We have quantity surveyor, we have surveying, we have civil engineering like site engineer, we have project management. Which one brings more salary?
See, first of all, no category or no course can bring you a huge salary.
Okay.
Of course, like some courses offer the initial pay in a good number. Okay, but unless or until we cultivate that ability to update according to the trend what is moving inside an industry, you cannot expect a good amount of salary.
Right.
Even though your start could be a good amount compared to someone who is starting as a lesser amount, but the progress could dip down if you are not performing. The reason I'm saying this example is salary is directly related to the skill sets, smartness, the performance,
Okay.
and how you are able to find a path within the construction industry which relates to your core capacities.
Right.
Example, if you are very good at budgeting and estimations, and if you are continuously working on planning,
Right.
you are not doing justice to yourself. So there obviously you cannot give your full.
Okay.
So there the growth is going to be a lesser, and same vice versa.
Right.
If you are good in planning and if you are doing cost estimation, that is also not going to help you.
Right.
So I would, in a nutshell, I would like to say, like, one thing which can give you a good salary is your smartness, your technical capacities, and how well you are able to understand and relate to your own core competency at a personal level.
Right.
At a personal level, I'm good at this. This works well with this. So how well you are able to find the combination is what is going to push you towards a better salary.
Okay.
So this is purely for the freshers, I'm saying.
Right. So I want to compare a kid who is graduated from a normal college and who was graduated from a IIT, IIM or some NICMAR thing.
See,
Where they start?
it's actually a very good question. Of course, a normal college guy, a renowned institute guy, the basic comparison is, the first thing starts is they land in a better place in terms of getting an opportunity.
Right.
The push is always easier for that category of engineers who's coming out than this category of engineers who's coming out.
Right.
But I would like to give one example, which is like, I've been with many people who are not from renowned institutes or IITs or any other national institutes.
Right.
They are from small colleges, average colleges, right from rural areas. I'm able to say they are at very big positions. So we have also seen recently an IIT Baba who has attended the Kumbh Mela also. Correct.
Okay. All right.
So you cannot compare basically a level or the intellectual skills of a person based on the institute, because it varies from person to person.
Okay.
One advantage is, yes, renowned institutions are known to everyone. So in order to open the door, first opportunity door, it is easy. Where someone who is from a not well known college has to do a lot of hard work.
Right.
So first thing is that, and second, I would say, like, in terms of how to reach for a normal college guy to reach up to that level, first thing, communication skills.
Right.
And I would say, like, English is something which is very important. Obviously Hindi also, because why I'm saying Hindi
For
is,
civil engineers, Hindi is important, sir.
yes,
In India.
definitely, in India, definitely,
Yeah.
because we have to work with laborers, we have to
need
work
to
with
handle
multiple
labor,
stakeholders.
one manpower,
Exactly.
yeah, definitely.
I would put these two languages in priority.
Okay.
And how well you are able to communicate. So that is something which is going to make people to recognize and give you an opportunity.
Right.
And it doesn't stop there, because even just because you're good at communication and you're not doing your job correctly, then obviously your growth is going to get hampered.
Right.
So it's the moment you realize that you have a good communication skill. If you don't have, you have to develop that.
Right.
If the moment you realize you have a good communication skill, then work on your technical skills.
Right.
So this two combination will definitely put you in par comparison with someone who is coming out from IIT or any national institutes, for that matter of say. Because end of the day, it's a matter of your technical competency getting compared to someone else's technical competency. If you are competent enough, then both of us will grow. That's it.
Right. Are you into hiring?
Yes.
You hire people?
Yes.
Right.
Yes. Yes.
So, basic propaganda of a fresher, they see HR is a hiring department, hiring person. In reality, HR is not the one who interviewing people. So
See, of
reality
course,
is-
like, HR will have a role,
Okay.
will have a powerful role also in terms of qualifying you for an interview. So the typical process in any good company will happen like this.
Right.
A HR will be there who will first reach out to a candidate who will identify who will qualify whether the candidate is fit for the role or not.
Right.
With some basic evaluations, their trade secrets, they will evaluate whether the guy is good in terms of behavior, communication, etc., etc.
Right.
And there will be some more technical, I would say, not technical, but some aspects will be there from a HR side to evaluate you. So they will evaluate you and then they will give you for a proper technical interview.
Right.
So a HR is at the start of the process, definitely. So you need to attract an HR,
Right.
in a company. For that, you need to show your own skill sets at that level. Second comes to your technical skills, because when it comes to the second level, it is people like me or whoever is into the technical side of that project or that aspect of work.
Okay.
They are going to evaluate whether you see, if you're a fresher, first thing what they will evaluate is they will not they'll ask you some questions to identify whether you have an answer for it or not. If you're a fresher, mostly the expectation is pretty clear. They wanted only one thing: do you have the interest to learn that and do it at your work or not?
That's what.
Because they know very well that I'm going to train you.
Right.
They know very well if you take for the next 3 months, you are going to learn, and then their only expectation is
Whether you stay or
have
not.
See, that
This
is
is
also
also-
there. That is also there.
Okay.
But do you have the capacity to learn and do? Do you have the interest to learn and do?
And this is the first thing, and this is the second.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. So this is what the primary expectation from anyone technical.
Right, sir.
And of course, they also see how well you are able to work with a team. How, because we are speaking about Gen Z people. Okay. So what is your expectation? For example, what you have asked me earlier. Are you comparing yourself to software engineers or not? If I do an interview, that is what the first thing I'll see. Because I don't want my engineers, civil engineers who are into the construction industry to compare themselves with software engineers.
Okay.
I need to understand what is the vision or what is the perspective they have.
Right.
And I also will see how passionate are they about construction industry.
Right.
So these are the 2-3 aspects I see. Similarly, that particular technical manager will have his own expectations. But basic expectations are like, you have interest to learn and do or not. Are you passionate about construction or not?
Right.
If this opportunity is given to you, will you be able to make use of this opportunity and develop something out of it, contribute something to the company or not?
Right.
That interest, all put together, that interest is what people will see.
Yeah, I'll share my experience since we are talking about this hiring thing. So I went to an interview at first. They suggested few things like you need to follow these basics to get a job. What are those? So I will share with you.
Yeah,
sir.
please.
Actually, first one is how hungry you are.
Yes.
First one. And second one is how you are behaving in front of me.
Correct.
And what is your dressing sense?
Correct.
Third one. I learned from that and I cracked second interview.
Correct. In any interview, for that matter of say, be honest.
Right. Be honest.
Be honest.
This one.
If somebody is asking you what is pushing you to go for a work, if your expectation is salary, don't feel shy to say that, because everybody knows what is the intention is, because they are all experienced people who are sitting in the interview panel and doing an interview. They know why you have come for work.
Right.
So if it's a salary, be honest and be humble about it. No problem in that.
And one more thing I want to tell our audience: if you are a senior or you having 3 years, 2 years experience, you want to shift the company, don't degrade previous company to get into the new company. Please.
True. I would also say that, because see, forget about whether you badmouth about the company in interview or not. The interviewer always knows the industry trend.
Right.
Which company is what they know.
Yeah.
And you don't know the background of the interviewer also. He might be an ex-employee of that company, or he might have his wife working in the company.
Definitely.
You have no clue about it.
Right.
So, that's what I told, right? The positive attitude is very important, and be honest. If there is something which is pushing you, if somebody is transitioning from one company to other company, if there is a genuine reason for it, be open to share that genuine reason.
Right.
If a hiring manager would truly appreciate the genuineness and take you for a job.
Right.
So there is no harm in saying what is honestly why you are changing, rather than cooking up with some lies.
Right, sir. Oh, I think we explained it well.
Yep,
Let's
I believe
see
so.
how they will take.
Yeah,
Definitely, sir.
I think we'll have a lot of comments for that 1 lakh salary wala segment. So many people will ask me, sir, I'm already 5 years, I'm not getting 1 lakh. I'm already 10 years, I'm still not getting 1 lakh.
Definitely.
So
I'm
we
also
can see a lot of comments for that, I believe.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
I'm also believing that. And we'll take a small shift here. I think our industry is open for everyone.
If I'm not wrong, what you're asking is somebody who is into a different set of business
Yeah.
is able to do a construction business.
Right.
How far the same extent a civil engineer is able to do a construction
Exactly.
business? That's
Yeah.
what you're asking.
Yeah.
First thing what we need to agree is construction is a high capital investment business.
Right.
Okay. So it is not like, opening up a shop and, having some 10 lakhs in hand, opening up a shop and then going out. No, it's not like that.
Right.
Because we're speaking about bigger volumes, bigger projects here. So you need to have a lot of, investment or backup or cash flow in pipeline to do a small project. So imagine how much money you should have to do a big project, because you're employing at least 3-4 consultant. You're employing one big contractor, maybe 200 laborers will be there for your particular project.
Definitely.
You have to bear with the cost of the land, or if it's a JV,
Right.
the partnership, and then the statutory expenses, and so many expenses are there.
Right.
Okay. So unless and until you have a cash, or unless and until you have the wealth to push, your project is not going to take off.
Right.
Okay. So this is a question we have to ask ourselves at a personal level. Am I having that much of wealth background to do that? If you have, obviously the industry is open for anyone to do that.
Right.
And second thing is like when it comes to professionals, many who have tried and failed, it works in that way. Not everybody can be a businessman. Not everybody can be a professional.
Right.
If your traits or if your qualities or if your expertise is more about professional, is more about being an engineer and doing a professional job,
Okay.
then business may not be your cup of tea.
Okay. Right.
Sometimes, if business is your cup of tea, you may not be able to do what a professional or an engineer is doing.
Right.
So it's all a completely different mechanism, likes, skill sets, capacities.
Okay.
So many people who are not able to do, engineers particularly, who started and then who started the construction business and who was not able to scale up, it is because like the business was not their cup of tea, or their understanding about business has been always in a different way.
Okay.
So that is the reason they were not able to do. And there are also good amount of examples who are engineers who started construction companies who scaled up to a different level, because through the line they understood what business mechanism, how the business mechanism works.
Right.
So it is about whether you are able to crack that nut or not. So that depends from person to person. That depends from people to people at different locations. So as in a nutshell, a businessman, if he is good at business, he should do business. He cannot be a professional. If a professional is good at providing value services restricted to his own domain, then he should restrict with that. He should not go beyond that or too much aspire to be a businessman.
Right.
So we should always play within our limits. We should always take risk within the calculative risk within our limits.
Right. If a civil engineer want to start a startup or want to start a business, which one is going to be a huge thing in these days or in future? Which one would you suggest?
If you are a civil engineer and if you want to start a business, I would say the good old traditional method is having your own construction company doing construction projects. You can be a labor contractor also.
Right.
You can be a complete contractor also, who can do entire material building and everything, construct a building and give it to someone.
Right.
So it depends on the traditional methodologies if you like it. And what I would say is I would rather encourage people who has got the bandwidth to do a startup or to initiate a business in the construction industry, identify some problem statement where you can actually fix something. Right? Because there are huge problems in construction industry. So many problems are there. At every site is different.
Yes.
Okay. So every site differs, every problem also differs.
Right.
So I would say identify a problem statement which you believe is going to solve something within the construction industry.
Okay.
Or at least which will change the way the industry operates.
Right.
Think of something else and come up with a startup or a business initiative in that area, rather than going with construction. You have a lot of people to construct building.
Right.
You need to do something new.
Right.
For you to scale up in a bigger level. Okay.
Right.
So maybe I would suggest those kind of aspects to think, to do something differently. If you wanted to start something in an area, if particularly because you asked as a fresher, As a fresher, the level of understanding which you have about construction is questionable many times.
Right.
We don't know what is the level of understanding of things. Sometimes you may think this is going to work and it may not work, because your understanding about the industry is slightly different from what the reality could be.
Right.
So in such cases, what I would say is, like, if you're a fresher, it's better to start by keeping someone who is in the industry, or be a forum, or be part of a forum where like-minded people are there who has already experienced in terms
Right.
of, for example, whatever you're doing 5 years before somebody could have done. There could be a community of people who shares knowledge. Go with them, be with them, learn, or go work as site engineer,
Work,
or your
yeah.
domain, whatever the domain you're choosing for. Work for 2 or 3 years, or maybe 1 year also. Understand what the reality is, and then start something. So that is something which will help you to start to make something which actually fix some problem.
Right.
Because unless and until if it is not fixing a problem, it is not going to scale up.
Right.
If it is not scaling up, it is not going to make money.
Definitely.
So if you wanted to make money, end of the day, you should know what is the industry reality is, where the problem is, what the solution is.
Right.
In order to know that, either you be with right people who can give it, or you be in the industry as a root level employee to understand, okay, this is what I wanted to do. Okay, that is something which I would say or encourage freshers to do, rather than sitting right after the college thinking like, okay, whatever I think is right. No, at least take guidance.
Right.
Or go to the field and learn.
Right.
That's what I would suggest.
What is the scale of competition?
You have huge competitions for anything in construction. Okay.
In construction, right?
Yeah. See, the main thing is, first of all, the moment you think you can provide a solution, there will be 10 other players who will already be providing, or at least be developing similar solutions.
Right.
So the first competition race starts there itself, like how I am going to do it differently, how I am going to give a better experience, how I am going to do it or solve the problem in an easier way, which my competition doesn't do, is up to you.
Right.
So I would say, like, there is no metrics or anything to qualify this, but there is huge competition. Okay. Whatever you do, there will be 100 people, or at least 10 people down the line who are already doing, or already started to do that.
In my graduation time, I don't have any laptop also. Okay, if I am going to, I know at that time only I am going to serve as a civil site engineer. So I don't need that laptop also. What is the reality now?
See, laptop and things is not going to define anything. Of course, everybody works on a laptop these days. That's not a bigger problem.
Okay.
And all these Gen Z people or current generation engineers, when they come out, they are very comfortable with the devices and things like that.
Right.
And most of the things which you could do in a laptop has already come to your smartphone. Right from viewing in AutoCAD drawing to editing in AutoCAD drawing. It depends on how comfortable it is. Only that is going to change between a laptop and mobile.
Right.
So whatever you could do in a laptop, now you can do it in a mobile also. So I don't think there is any advantage in terms of having a laptop and things like that. Where to start with, I would say, as I said, have a fair amount of understanding in terms of how Excel works, how software works, what AutoCAD drawing is, how to go, what are the commands we use for AutoCAD, how to play around with the drawing in AutoCAD. These are the basic things which you need to know. Forget whether you have a laptop or not, because the moment you go for a job, somebody is going to give you a laptop.
Right.
So that's not a bigger problem. But the moment the problem here is, the moment they give you a laptop, are you able to work on it or not? So that is what the biggest problem is.
What is that one advice you want to give younger generation? One suggestion.
Be serious about your job. So if you're coming into the job market, be serious about the job. Nothing satisfies everyone 100%.
Right.
Okay. So there will be certain expectation issues. There will be certain things which you expect the company to do, the company may not do. Similarly, the company also may have a different set of expectations on you. You may not be able to do that.
Right.
What I'm saying is, like, be passionate about job. That is the main thing.
Right.
And try to understand the mechanism to a root level. Do not make quick judgments by understanding the problem at a surface level, or by understanding a problem in a particular company, assuming that is the problem of the entire industry.
Right.
No, it's not like that.
Yeah.
So these two things I would like to tell them. So just be passionate, and don't be too judgmental about things which is happening around you, specific to that company or specific to that site. If you change the organization or if you change the site, it might look entirely different.
Right.
Don't take any drastic decisions based on what is what is there within your visible circle.
Right.
Construction is beyond that.
Donald Trump just said our economy is dead. What do you think? Is it dead?
Of course, so it's everybody knows the answer for that question. India is very far from being a dead economy. Of course, there could be some political reasons of giving such statements, but it's clearly visible. Like we are almost like the third, fourth largest economy. We are, chasing towards a third.
Yes.
And in terms of US dollars, also we are like approximately $4.2 trillion economy.
Okay.
And there is robust growth happening. The GDP projections of India is solidly at 6.5% by various estimates by various institutions.
Right.
And keeping all that in mind, of course there will be certain debatable points there, here and there, which is part of any country. Okay. And I don't think that is something which is going to name us as a dead economy. And it's absolutely out of question. Like we are not a dead economy, and we are doing pretty good in terms of the progress compared to the world in which the current state the world is currently going on. Yeah.
Right. The reason I asked is it's trending actually, guys. I want to end this session here. Sir, can you confirm?
Yeah, definitely. More than happy to come and speak more about. There are still a lot of areas. Construction is a huge business, obviously. Right?
Yes.
There are still a lot of areas we can explore.
Right.
I'll also wait for the audience comments. Let's see.
I want to do another session with sir. So I'm looking forward. Please comment. This session is one of the best session in our CivilBro R's channel. I am going to specifically, CivilBro R is going to approach a new set of audience from this podcast. And thank you for this, sir. This is an opportunity for me to do a podcast with you.
Yeah, same here with me. Thanks, first of all, for inviting me. I have thoroughly enjoyed the questions, and this is the first set of podcast which I am doing. There has always been this urge to contribute something back to the community, and I have to thank you for giving me that opportunity to contribute to the audience, civil fraternity audience.
I don't think so. You are already contributing so much towards our civil engineering industry because you are working with startups. You are participating so many seminars. You are giving lectures. You are guiding so many engineers. You are guiding so many people, sir.
So that is there, but still, this is a entirely new platform, new set of avenue. Exactly.
Yeah, definitely.
And specifically targeting the young civil engineers to stepping right inside the construction industry right now.
Right.
So I'm thanking you especially for that, and I thoroughly enjoyed the session. Looking forward for more session.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, and thank you. Let me know what you had learned from this session in the comment section. We'll meet again with another podcast, with another session. Thank you for watching. Thank you, guys.